Mortgage rates sink at fastest weekly pace in a year, okay? It was so fast, there's lines outside of banks of people wanting to refinance. Maybe not that fast, but it's going fast. So let me read this story and give it to the great biz doc, Tom Ellsworth. All right, Tom, let's read this to you. Mortgage rate films are fastest weekly pace in a year, giving some relief to the strained housing market as economic conditions softened. The standard 30-year fixed rate mortgage dropped from 6.5% last week to ready 6.35% this week, the lowest rate since October of last year, according to data from government mortgage securitizers. Freddie Mac demand for mortgage rose to a multi-year high with the falling interest rates. Mortgage bankers observed borrower demand surged to a 3-year high last week following a decline in mortgage rates to their lowest since last October. Tom, what is really going on here?
Okay, here's what's going on. The Fed this week, we're down to hours now. It's going to be the exact hours. And if Rob can get the CME Fed Watch website, we'll look at the ticker right now. But here's what's happening. The Fed is going to lower rates in roughly 48 hours. Could it be a half a point? Probably not. But we are over 91% certain, and this isn't the business guys on Wall Street. These are the analysts and the people that follow Fed monetary policy. And it's 2 days, 2 hours, 53 minutes, and 48 seconds to be exact. And we're going to get the rate down. Well, so what's happening in advance? Why are the mortgage rates going now if the rates aren't going to be dropped until next week? Well, guess what? There are bonds that hold mortgages, and there are bonds out there that help determine the interest rates. So Vinny, this is not a math question. I'm just going to ask you. You own a bank.
Don't mess with Vinny's head.
You own a bank, and you have all these mortgages out there, and they're at 7 3/4, and some even 8, but around 7 3/4. It's a big stack, and they're paying you interest.
I'm doing great.
You're a happy bank.
I'm happy.
And all of a sudden, you hear that the interest rates are down at 6.3 and get down to 6 1/4 probably this week when this goes out.
I don't like
and
it.
Suddenly they're holding 7 3/4 interest on your loans, and it could be down to 6 1/4 at 1.5%. That is a magic moment where you can refi and save meaningful on your payment. Now, what does a refi do? You may get the mortgage, but oh my gosh, Adam's Bank may get the mortgage. You lose a customer. And the rates come down. The bonds that are holding these are getting very nervous right now. They're waiting for the refi. So the value of the bond is based on the value of the interest rates. And so what's happening right now, the bonds have shifted down, which has also moved the 10-year, which has moved interest rates, which has actually exacerbated it because now people are picking up. So people with 7.5 to 7 3/4 are able to refi at 6.375, 6 1/4, which is the zone we're in right now, and that is good for homeowners. So homeowners that bought, Pat, in 2022, right after COVID, maybe they bought because they thought the home prices that were going up were going to keep going up. They jumped in and they bought. Now they're at a point where they can refi. So the refi market is starting to come to life. Now, it's more refis than we've had in, I think, 2.5 years. However, it's not the all-time high of refis. We're still in a kind of a...
Of course it's not.
We're still in a highly constrained market.
No question about it.
But this is what you call little green shoots starting to peek up from the soil and looking that maybe the grass might grow. And this is good for Americans that will reduce their payments on homes they own. And it could open the door for home purchases, but we don't need a sudden shock. We need a long-term thaw. So they also think that there's going to be a 1/4 point come in November and a 1/4 point come in December. I think that's what's happening. And the CME watch group thinks that's happening too. So the answer to the question, if you think about refining, this might be a time to go out and check with your bank because you could get a 6 1/4 and 6 3/8 right now. And if you're holding a 6 and a 7.5, there's a meaningful difference there all of a sudden.
Adam.
Well, everything is more expensive in America these days. So aside from your mortgages and what you're paying in housing, cars are more expensive. Gas is pretty damn expensive. College tuition is more expensive than it's ever been. You're getting a less of an ROA than you possibly ever have. Healthcare is more expensive. We see what's going on in healthcare. Childcare is more expensive. Raising kids is more expensive. Your groceries are more expensive. Things are getting more expensive. At the same time, our wages for the average worker going up. very little. So what you have to do in your life is sort of determine where should you be spending your money? Where should you be saving your money? Should you be buying a house right now? Should you be getting a car right now? Should you be getting a roommate right now? Should you be having kids right now?
Definitely not buying a car, but
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They talked about the American
Or a car
dream
that would
is
have a
now
child seat
no
in the back,
longer.
in case you ever needed
Tom,
that.
let's chill, Tom. You talk about the American dream has officially doubled in price. Apparently, what they say, American dream has surpassed $5 million 2 years ago. It was closer to $2.5–3 million. Things are getting way more expensive. So there's only two ways to have more money in your life. You can either make more or spend less. If you're not making more, you have to figure out how to spend less. That's it.
Wait, so I own this bank. I own the bank. Do I have to fire anybody right now, Tom, or am I good? Because I own
The annoying guy in your
No,
left.
you got to get your marketing people out there saying, hey, we're a great bank, and maybe you proactively go out and grab those refis yourself.
I'm going to fire them. Go ahead, Pat. I'm sorry.
all right, let's go. So anyways, that's a breakdown right there for you of what's going on with rates. We have our USA merch on vtmerch.com, and here's what we're going to be doing. 100% of whatever you buy with USA on it is going to be given to Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk. 100%.
Great.
Whatever you buy with USA on it, 100. I'm not talking 100% of profits. 100% of gross sales that we make of anything with USA Today on it right here, 100% of this proceeds are going to go to Turning Point USA and Erica, Charlie Kirk's family, and everything they have going on. It is amazing that it took one 31-year-old young man, father of two, married to Erica, a man who started Turning Point USA, who had a vision, has gotten America to be proud to become Americans again, got people going back to church again. It is amazing that something like this had to happen for America to get to this point. But God willing, this direction we're going to be going to continues of Americans being proud. Obviously for me, I had him as the most important person in America we're going to have for decades to come. That's what I always said. Every interview I ever did, when people ask me about Charlie Kirk, I said, this guy's the most important voice in America today because everybody has a certain age. He's 31. He's going to be going for many, many years. But God willing, the younger folks are going to continue to pick up the torch and keep inspiring to do what he did and maybe even take it to different levels around the world. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.